Hi, this is Jim Jordan with Great Vibrant Health. Today I want to talk to you about cardiovascular health and specifically what are the causes of cardiovascular health conditions, which include heart attacks, strokes, TIAs, which are sort of mini strokes, pulmonary embolisms, deep vein thrombosis, all these types of clots in the vascular system. What are the root causes of these conditions? I also want to show you some pictures of blood under dark field microscopy that show you the difference between good, healthy circulation and congested circulation, and then also what you can do about it to prevent blood clots, strokes, TIAs, heart conditions, all the other things. It's actually much bigger than just these. Those are the end result, most damaging end stages of disease. But prior to these major blockages of oxygen and blood to the brain, let's say for a stroke, or the heart for a heart attack, there are many different subclinical health conditions that are emerging in us. And the reality is, to some degree, almost every adult has some of this developing in them. It's just the nature of our system. We're having these massive miles and miles and miles of blood vessels, arteries, capillaries, veins, and even lymphatic fluids that are being pushed through tubes that are moving waste out of the cells back into circulation to get filtered out. So the key is this: to understand that every single organ, gland, and tissue in your body needs oxygen and nutrients. And it gets that through blood. Basically, the blood has to deliver it. And over time, our blood vessels get weakened through toxins and stress and injuries and various things. And little patches start to line the blood vessels to protect the vessel from rupturing. So that narrows the diameter. And before you know it, you have a clot. And now luckily your body builds bypasses. Actually, it's creating its own bypasses miraculously. But sometimes those bypasses get shut down too. And at some point, kaboom, you got a problem. So this is coming up now because a person who's very close to me had a TIA, which is a transient ischemic attack, which is a fancy way of saying a sort of a mini stroke where there's a temporary cut off of supply of oxygen to the brain. And it was very traumatizing for her. And but she's recovered. And I developed a program, to help her recover. And it's really, if you're smart and you're playing the game preventatively, you can prevent these things from happening. And as I said too, prior to even these strokes, heart attacks, TIAs, you have other signs of less than optimum circulation. So let's start just with the most obvious ones, which would be shortness of breath. Many of us have had that as we age, right? So there's some sluggishness in oxygen supply to the heart, to the lungs, to the brain, to the muscles. And that's one. Fatigue. Just fatigue alone is a sign that the circulatory system is not optimal. Coldness. You're not getting all the blood flowing to the extremities. Your fingers or your toes are not warm. Varicose veins, all kinds of, that shows up as damage to the veins. Of course, the blood vessels are rupturing there. Aches and pains because you're not getting the blood supply to the tissues, the muscles, the joints, and everything you need to sort of lubricate and regenerate those areas from the wear and tear of life. So pretty much any symptom you have is, or cognitive function decline, poor memory, trouble thinking, definitely circulatory issues to your brain. So that's what's happening. And so there's many ways to assess this. I mean, you can symptomatically assess it. You can look at blood, like I do for many years. I've looked at live blood. I'll show you a picture here in a minute, a couple of pictures to show you the difference between healthy blood and not healthy blood. There's lab tests, C-reactive protein test. The D-dimer test is being used now, which is a test for a mechanism your body has to break down inflammatory factors, homocysteine, all kinds of things. There's tons of tests you can run. There's even a really cool test called the glycocheck, which is being used as a mini camera that you can stick in a video camera, you can stick in a person's mouth and videotape the roof of their mouth, the microcirculation. So the glycocheck can show you visually the microcirculation in your mouth, in this case, the capillary flow, the volume and speed of the capillary flow, which reflects the overall body. And so there's every way to prevent this if you're on top of it. Now, also in these times, we've had, of course, lots of reports of people who are having blood clots that could be related to, probably are related to some degree, the effects of some of these shots that people are taking for, we can't say the word on if this goes up to YouTube, so, but therapeutic shots for certain illnesses. So those, of course, those spike proteins are potentially major factors in the increase in cardiovascular health for people who take these shots, health issues for people who take these shots. So there's a huge array of risk factors for people. So there's the condition basically is the circulation is not optimal. Okay, so can you get optimal? Yes, there's things you can do. We'll get into that at the end, but everybody needs to pay attention to this because everybody is at risk. Everybody's at risk. We can see that now with young people having, heart conditions in relation to these spike proteins. There was actually a study I remember from many years ago of autopsies on Vietnam veterans, young men in their early 20s, some of them late teens even, who died in Vietnam, American soldiers, and every single one of them had some stage of arteriosclerosis. Now that can also be stress related, just the stress of being in combat, eating poor food, who knows what caused it, but everybody has some degree of this going on. So the idea is to get on top of it. And I did that. I've been doing that in my work for 25 years with a microscope. I look at blood with a microscope. That has to be done in person. There's other tests you can run if you're not local. If you need to do other labs, you can have lab tests to get biological markers to assess inflammation factors, clotting factors. Certain nutrient deficiencies will show up as related to these circulatory factors. But I want to show you, I'm going to share my screen here. I want to show you some pictures of blood and share the screen. And I'm going to show you, this is a video of blood. This is in dark field. You can see these are red blood cells, actually. I'm going to pause it here. This is a video I did of blood. So here the background is, there's no clots in the blood here. There's no inflammatory factors in the blood. I'll show you a picture later of something that has it. The blood cells are relatively separate. You can see there are actually other things in the blood here I wasn't going to talk about, but the cell membranes are damaged, actually. They're very crinkly because this person had a lot of oxidative stress. They're also oval shaped, which is a B vitamin deficiency and hormone imbalance indicator. But essentially the blood cells, the background is clear of clotting factors, and it's relatively good in that sense. No big clots or inflammation. The blood is not too sticky. I'll show you later some other pictures. I'll stop the share here so we can go back. Yeah, so basically that is a sample of blood. It was a video of blood that did not have the clotting mechanisms that were activated. Let me share screen again. I want to show you something here that is related to some pictures here. Here, let's see. This is the picture I want to show you. Look at this. So this is a still of still shot of blood. You can see the red blood cells here are all stacked up. They're like stacked up in looks like a roll of coins or like a slinky. So this is called rouleau. Is a French word that means roll. So it's a roll of red blood cells. No separation, no oxygen transport taking place here at all. And all this little web stuff in the background, this sort of looks like a spider web. That's called fibrin, which is a clotting mechanism that And basically, it's activated when there's inflammation or damage to the tissue, liver distress, all kinds of things. But this blood would, this would show up as a high C-reactive protein in a blood chemistry or a high D-dimer. That would be a sign of likelihood of clotting going on. So this is this person is likely to head into a serious problem. Most of her blood, it wasn't just one section either, it was the entire thing. So that's not good. And yeah, so we can just stop sharing there. So yeah, so basically what we have is, yeah, those are two contrasting pictures. You can see that. So there's the blood that should be flowing. The blood cells should be separate from each other, flowing, carrying oxygen and nutrients throughout the body. There should not be lots of clots in the blood. There's other pictures I didn't right now have to show you what platelet aggregation is, but those are big clots in the blood. So that can all be visually identified in a microscope with dark field or phase contrast lighting, and is one way to do it. So if you're local in town, or if you have someone who has a microscope in your area, you can do that, get that done, get that assessed. And or you can get some labs done too. And you can also probably just assume you've got some degree of it, because most of us do, and get to what causes it. So let's get to now, what is the cause? What are the causes of poor circulation? So let's start with the basics. Diet. Amazingly, your diet will affect everything. And what are the elements of diet that cause blood to get like that second picture there? Sugar, high carbohydrate diet. High sugar levels will cause the blood cells to stick together, cause lots of inflammation. Oxidized fats and proteins, you'll have lots of plaque growing in the blood and oxidized protein, so they'll just screw up your blood completely. So sugar is a poison. Even high fruits or fruit juices, pretty much, you're just pushing the river there. Try not to do it. Your diet is critical. Fried foods, not good. Just dumping some plaque into your blood. Processed foods, not that good either. So fresh, organic foods, vegetables, whole grains, if you eat grains, in modest amounts of fruits, good quality protein like poultry or beef or bison or wild game or salmon or halibut. High quality protein cooked at low temperature. Don't cook at a high temperature. You're going to oxidize the proteins, but low temperature cooking is the way to go. And healthy fat. Healthy fat is the best thing for your blood vessels. That's right. We'll get to that in the recommendations part. But so bad diet is bad for your circulation. Also, toxins. Toxins will damage, whether they're proteins or lipids or whatever, your blood vessels. So that's going to be chemical toxins like, Monsanto, GMO stuff, all this Roundup, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, medications, toxic drugs, all the stuff you do, antiperspirants with aluminum, heavy metals, mercury from your dental work, if you still have mercury dental fillings, hope you don't, heavy metals from, environmental toxins, you name it, fluoride. But even the biggest one that affects your circulation is actually electromagnetic radiation. Most people don't know this, but I think it's number one. In fact, this woman who had the very sticky, inflamed blood, the blood changed relatively quickly after introducing an EMF protection or mitigating device into her field. I don't want to go into depth into that, but the bottom line is electromagnetic radiation is ionizing low-level radiation or non-ionizing radiation, which is depleting the body of minerals. There's ionizing radiation, which is a lot more dangerous, of course. But the non-ionizing form that just is positive charged molecules that just deplete your blood of electrolytes and dehydrate you is just not good. So we're in a soup of electromagnetic radiation, okay? So we have to find ways to mitigate that. We'll get to that in the solution section of this little presentation. So electromagnetic radiation from cell phones, keeping them everywhere you go, Wi-Fi, cell towers, you name it, all that stuff we can't live without, and yet it doesn't help us much in our health. But there are mitigation strategies, there's things to do about it, and we will get to that. Lack of exercise too, just lack of movement. Your blood needs to be moved because when you move, your blood moves. When you move, your lymphatics move. Lymphatics is sort of a parallel circulatory system that leaves the cells and tissues and connects with the blood vessels, the veins, to move toxins out of those tissues. And that has to be pumped too. So without that pumping, the toxins back up, congest everything, and you get problems. So movement, exercise, not just like, I did my exercise, I did my walk. Actually, ideally, you would, we're sitting around the computer all day long, get up and move, squat, do squats. Here I am doing squats now, right before I came on the screen. Every hour, do 25 squats, do push-ups, bounce on the rebounder. Every hour to 2 hours, just do something. Movement is key element to improving circulatory health. Getting even like for stroke prevention is neck exercises, stretching your neck movements, flexibility exercises like this. I'm doing some of them right now. So, I'm not going to go into all the things to do right now, but I want you to get the idea that there is a can't miss program, absolutely cannot miss if you do it, to prevent heart attacks, strokes, TIAs, all the other pulmonary embolisms, all of that, but you got to stay on top of it. You got to test yourself, see where you're at, and take action. Or you wait till there's a problem like this person who's very close to me, and then we have a lot harder work to do. Okay, so some of these, we test it without lab tests, live blood analysis. If you have someone who has a microscope like I have, the glycocheck, you can test it that way. And or you just go like, I'm 55 years old, 60 years old, whatever you are, chances are it's happening. So put into effect the resolution program. So resolution of this phase 1 is reduce the causative factors. Easier said than done, but start with your diet. Clean up your diet. Dump the sugar, dump the processed food. Don't fry your food. Cook it at low temperature. Drink a vegetable juice, something raw, something, life force energy, sprouts, all kinds of things. The diet, people that work with me, we work through their diets, set up the diet where it's, in alignment with what's true principles are, and you'll get improvement just from that alone. Hydrate your body properly because, they say the solution to pollution is dilution. Dilute this gunk that's building up. Diet, hydration, exercise, we covered that already. Lack of exercise is a cause, exercise is the solution, part of the solution. Mitigating environmental toxins, big thing. EMF protect your home, or EMF mitigate your home. Wire your internet, wire your phone. Turn off your Wi-Fi at night if you want to keep Wi-Fi still. If you insist on that, that's okay. Just realize it's not optimal. There's other devices. I'm going to put a link in the notes below there's a company who I'm trying to recommend their products and represent them. ProProtect is the name of the company. You can look up their website. You can, if you want to get it through me too, I give people a discount off retail, so that's an option. But they're good products. They're products that I've tested with microscopy, and I see they've met the challenge. That there's some of their products that I've tested are really good. They work, and there are other ones out there that work too. So do that. Make sure you have proper levels of minerals, especially magnesium. Major importance. Some people with arrhythmias, irregular heartbeats, many people actually it's just a magnesium deficiency. In fact, most cardiovascular heart issues are related to magnesium deficiency, not exclusively, but significantly. Magnesium is critical. You got to find, there's all kinds of magnesium supplements. There's some that are super potent. There's a form, can't remember the name of it. It's got like 7 forms of magnesium in it. I'll track it down for you. Magnesium spray too. Spray it on your body, rub it in. Just magnesium. You got to have it. Your body needs it. Your heart needs it. Your blood vessels need it. Key nutrient, key nutrient, vitamin C, critical nutrient. Vitamin C repairs your blood vessels. Vitamin C is incredibly important. I've had people that had 90% blocked carotid artery, big artery going to your brain, right? 90% blocked. MRI showed that. I had a guy, I remember some years ago, came in to see me. We did a program for him, food-based vitamin C, big, large amounts, multiple tablespoons a day, serrapeptase enzyme, break up the clots and inflammation, drive that down, a few other things, and boom, in about 4, 5, 6 months, I think it was maximum, it was down to like 20%, 10%. That's it, just that. Seriously, there's no reason to get a stroke if you're paying attention. There's no reason to get a TIA. There's like a mini stroke. There's no reason to get a heart attack. There's no reason to have diabetes, which is related to circulation. There's no reason for any of those major events. I mean, there's still things we're all working on that are suboptimal circulatory factors, but these major things, if you're on top of it, you don't need to get it. You can correct it. Vitamin C is another wonderful nutrient. So in the world of remedies, there's some great remedies. There's an herb called Strophanthus. That is it. It's from Africa. It is unbelievable. It is like nitroglycerin as a preventative, but more importantly, it addresses root causes of heart disease. I'm not going to go over all the mechanisms of how it works. It's amazing. Dr. Tom Cowan turned me on to it. I use it in my practice with people. It is a miracle worker for any heart condition prevention, even after the fact. You start to treat yourself with it and you're on the right track. Strophanthus. I mean, I'm just going to give you a list of some of the top things to do. Okay, it depends on where you're at. If this is, if you're a severe condition or if you had an event, you have to be more thorough, and you probably are on medications. You have to work this with your doctor too. I've worked with people who are on lots of medications, and I got many of them off the medication. I didn't do it. They did it with their doctor, but through my advice. Of course, I can't do that because I'm not a medical doctor, but I can tell you that there's people that were on medications for heart conditions, high blood pressure, cholesterol, blood, all kinds of stuff. And they're off the medications, no heart condition, no problems. Numbers are normal. It is doable, but it takes knowledge and discipline. You have to know what to do. You got to do it. So my job is to let you know what to do, design the program, and support you to do it. So it is doable. Where were we? Okay. Remedies, Strophanthus, vitamin C, serrapeptase. There's an enzyme formula. The enzymes break down that fibrinogen, that sticky, that spiderweb type thing you saw in that picture, blood picture, just eats it up, chews it up, breaks up clots, opens up circulation. Boom, right there. Serrapeptase, lots of formulas. I have some special brands I use that are extra potent. Again, if you want those specific brands or my input, just contact me and I'll set you up with the program. Also, you have to do there's other even more powerful remedies that I think I want to discuss here too. So for people who have had actual events, and you want to repair and restore, or even prevent, I would get ahead of it. I would look into hydrogen therapies, and more specifically, something called Brown's gas therapy, which is a form of hydrogen therapy plus something. Hydrogen has been used therapeutically for many years. It's been researched incredibly thoroughly. In Asia, especially, you can hydrogenate the water, which is basically an electrolyzer machine that splits water into hydrogen and oxygen, and then the gases are sent back concentrated into bubbling into a bottle that you drink the water. It's done. And you can also breathe the gas, which is the key thing. Breathing the gas. Brown's gas machines have a third gas, hydrogen, oxygen, and something called electrically expanded water. And I've made videos on one of these machines that I use, and I can put that in the link below. It's called the Aqua. It is an amazing device. If I had one device only, it would be a Brown's gas machine. I've been using it myself preventatively and for other things, different things I've had going on with my health over the years, and I love it. And there's two different devices actually, Brown's gas machines. I'll put links to that I think would be, or at least get in touch with me. I can put you in touch with the manufacturers. That is crucial. So this person I know who had this TIA and her brain was sort of, wonky and foggy and not working too good. She had a Brown's gas machine, started breathing it a lot for a period of time, a few days, and brain function came back fine. And it will stay back if you do the right things. And Brown's gas, hydrogen therapy is one of the top things. Also, there's frequency therapies. Energy medicine is the real thing. It is not a second-class medicine beneath molecular medicine. It is a first-class medicine. From my view, it is the primary medicine, truthfully, frequency. So let's start with basic frequency. Most essential thing is just earth energy frequency. Just putting your bare feet on the earth regularly, grounding yourself, will get the energy, the electron transfer from the earth, and you will have more antioxidants and positive frequencies to regulate your biochemistry. Simple, free, barefoot, earthing, grounding, whatever you want to call it. It is a preventative for everything, including cardiovascular issues. Get circulation going. It's fantastic. On that note too, as far as free things go, sunlight, early morning sunlight, photon, red and near infrared light is charges your cells, your mitochondria, and that is energy. Energy is the key. Energy is the key to your body even processing the food you're eating to rebuild and regenerate your body. So we'll get back to some more molecular elements, but I'd put hydrogen in the molecular element thing. Actually, it's an element. But energy frequency therapy. So, and there's other frequency therapies. There's laser therapies. There's all kinds of therapies. But one that I'm exploring, which I'm on the fence about even talking about it yet, but I'm exploring it and I'm pretty close to saying thumbs up, is terahertz frequency, which is being used to increase circulation, lymphatic drainage, regenerate activate stem cells, and regenerate injured areas of the body. But there's a device that I'm testing out, and I'll talk about that in a later video probably, but today I just want to plop it in, plant the seed. There is a terahertz frequency that is being used with a particular device that is could very well be part of a program, a prevention program and a treatment program. So these are just some of the things that are important. Also, if you look at part of our circulatory health is related to our nerve function and relates to our injuries, subluxations, patterns like that, things that have gone out of alignment due to injuries, and our nervous system is just not working right, and blood flow and lymphatic drainage may not work right. So I feel preventative chiropractic or structural work, or even just spinal flexibility exercises will help, like those neck exercises, will help a lot with circulation. So it's not just running and bouncing and rebounding, but it's getting that flexibility in the spine, lining up that spine, the cervical spine, especially for the flow to the head. And getting that all dialed in is going to be a major part of your prevention program. And just think of it as prevention is also the same as saying optimal health program. That's what you want. You want to feel good. You want to think well, function well. You want energy, life force. And that's what prevention means. Is not, you can think of it as preventing a stroke or heart attack, yes, and also just functioning better. So again, all this comes down to three things: knowledge. What the heck is going on? Why did this happen? And if you went to a doctor, medical doctor, nothing wrong. Some of them are very smart with certain things, but they may just put you on a drug or two or three or four, like they did many people I know. And that's not addressing the causes. I'm talking about knowledge of root causes, discipline to implement, then knowledge of the remedies, the way to regulate or correct those root causes, and then discipline. Knowledge, and discipline. There you go. That's the program. So it's working. This person who's very close to me who had this TIA is doing a lot better. Many people are going to be having, I hate to say it because of, but from what I've seen is there's more and more people are having blood clot issues for the reasons we all know. And if you don't want to be one of them, let's, first of all, don't get that treatment. And if you did, put into action some preventative measures. You know, the tests that you can get from the labs would be C-reactive protein, D-dimer, homocysteine, lipid panel. You know, there's a whole slew. Ferritin levels, even iron levels could affect the circulatory factors. But a whole blood chemistry. I have a whole program. If you're not in person, can't have me look at your blood with a microscope, we can set up. We got a whole panel I can run for you, and get those numbers will show us the picture clearly. There's other ways to assess too. I do a bioenergetic scan with a company called NES Health, and that will bioenergetically assess circulation as one of many things it's assessing. And it is accurate. It is spot on accurate. I've correlated the scan bioenergetic with labs. Boom, simple and much less expensive. That's another way to assess things. So assessment is easy. Remedies are not that hard either if you know what to do. I mean, just some of these things like Strophanthus is just phenomenal. Nobody knows about it. Very few people know about it. And there's other biological remedies, but I don't want to go into every single one. Obviously, it's really more designed for your specific case. So whatever is going on in your case, we'll have to check, you know, what are the factors with you. So the way I do it is we get the program customized for you. What are these risk factors for you? What can we do to correct it? If there's some medications you're on that could be contributing to this, then we might have to mitigate those a bit or reduce those over time and correct that. So everybody's case is different, but I want to lay out the basic framework of this is a problem. Circulation issues is a problem. We all have them to some degree. The last thing is when you have a stroke or a TIA, or you know you can't remember anything, you've got problems already. It's already way down the road. So that's, you know, then you got to put in plan A on, you know, full on. You know, you can't just do little slight preventative strategies. So, and otherwise, if you're basically in good health, you do a preventative strategy, you just have that as part of your plan, part of your normal lifestyle. You just have to know what works. What are the best forms of vitamin C? What type of vitamin C should I take? You know, what types of exercises should I do? Should I get one of these devices? You know, there's all questions to answer and figure out what is best for you. So this was I just wanted to do a talk on this because it's come up a lot. People have asked me to talk about this topic. There's people close to me this is pressing. I'm concerned about it for myself because of my age. I'm 61 now, and I've had some health challenges over the years, and I know circulation, I can work on it. And I think we got to keep working on it, keep improving. Lymphatic especially is something that we overlook. Lymphatic drainage, get that blood moving. So, I think that covers it. Circulatory issues are critical to all elements of health. It can be assessed relatively easily. It can be addressed relatively easily. It is in your hands now. So if you think this information is valuable, please share it with people. You can, if this goes to YouTube, I don't know if I'll put on YouTube or Rumble or something, like and share and subscribe. So I get more videos. If you want to get in touch with me, you can contact me, createvibrant.health.com. createvibrant.health.com is my website. My office number is 541-482-2250. And I'm Jim Jordan. I'm a health and wellness consultant and educator and live cell microscopy practitioner and trainer. And I'm here to help you have the best health you can have and to teach you how to take charge of your health, because your health is really in your hands. It is your health is a result of your choices you have made. Usually not conscious you're making a good or bad choice. Most of us are mistaken, you know, half the time. You know, I've been mistaken. I'm in the healthcare field. So the idea is to make wise choices. So you need information, you need to research things. So researchers, a lot what I do is I research things, I test things out, I validate if it's useful or not. And I will put links below in the notes that could be useful to you. And feel free to call my office. I give you usually a free consultation for half an hour, just to chat, to get to know each other, see if there's a way I can help you with your health issues. And if you think I'm the person to help you. So I'll put that in the notes below. And I hope this is useful to you. I know this is going to be something that's going to be around for a long time to come, because unfortunately, people are having more and more of these blood clot issues, and it can be remedied. That's my big message. It can be remedied. So Jim Jordan with Create Vibrant Health, wishing you a great day.